Hello everyone, this is Jim Condit Jr. We are going to nail the deceivers and liars at the 5 TV networks here with evidence that everyone can see how these neocon networks work to deceive and steal America through fraudulent polls, suppressing of real information, and computerized elections that are counted in secret with their connivance and full cooperation. This is CNBC. Now, earlier tonight at about 6 p.m. Eastern, there was a Republican debate. It's October 9th, 2007 today. And a friend of mine, Walter Reddy of Connecticut, who was the William Wallace in Ames, Iowa, when we nailed the thugs at the GOP in Iowa on August 11th, 2007, for hiding all the ballots and claiming that they had results that fit right in with the neocon agenda up there, contrary to all the live polls such as you're about to see. So when the debate ended, they began to, in fact, the debate may have been at 5, I'm not really sure, may have ended at 6. And at any rate, they told people to go online and vote. And here's what it says. You're going to read along with me. Walter printed out the CNBC with this astounding result, with Ron Paul getting 75% of the vote in the first hour afterwards, with 5,000 and eventually 10,000 participants. He printed it out, as you'll see, where there's 5,000 participants. Now, CNBC.com poll. Now, it was televised on CNBC. Who won the GOP debate? And then it says, you know, they got all the candidates there and people could come in and vote. Well, what was the results? The Republican presidential, this was right after the debate, the Republican presidential candidates have spoken. And if you, it isn't perfectly clear, but it says 9 October 2007, 5:46 p.m. Eastern Time. Now it's your turn to weigh in on how you think they did. Take our post-debate poll and let us know who you thought was the most impressive. Yeah, it's cut off a little there. Due to technical difficulties, you may have to refresh this web page in order to see the poll appear, it says. In other words, if you vote, you had to refresh the web page. So which candidate... Let's get down here a little bit further. Which candidate won the debate? Look at this. 75% of those voting, with how many participants? See that? 5,896 is what it says. The printout isn't perfectly clear, but maybe others have a more clear printout. This is a fax, remember. Ron Paul, 75%. Second place, Michael Huckster Huckabee, 6.9%. Fred Thompson, the front runner, 5.7%. Mitt Romney, the front runner, 5.5%. Rudy Giuliani, the front runner, they claim. The real front runner, according to their lying polls they do in secret, they claim to call 800 people, and then they just make up the results. 3.8%. This is real people going to their computer and voting, not those lying polls that the 5 big TV networks put out. John McCain, a front runner, or they've told us from the beginning, 1.7%. And then you got Duncan Hunter. And hold on, let me try to get that. Duncan Hunter, Tom Tancredo, who I do think Tancredo is an honest man, but he's unfortunately deceived by the neocon technology, and Brownback all at 0%. Now, I won't belabor this because I got to show you what they did, but when they said if the GO primary was held today, again, Ron Paul gets 76% of the vote. Now we move down. Which Republican candidate is best for your money? Ron Paul gets 76% of the vote. Now, if the neocon thugs, warmongers, police state neo-communists who are running the Republican and Democratic Party and the 5 TV networks and the Fed and the White House and the Congress, if those neocons were honest, they would the Republicans would say, gee, we need Ron Paul. He appeals to Democrats. He would be our candidate. Instead, they continue to black him out. And we're going to see how they censor him in a second. So that was that's an actual fax of the actual page of CNBC. What do you think they did at about 7:30, about an hour and a half after the poll? Would you believe they just took the poll down? The dishonest just took the poll down. Now let's look, and I got an email here. This is my email. And here comes I don't know if you can, I hope I can get this filming right here. Here comes something from Dick Mills, who runs the Ron Paul USA website, which we're going to do a video about real soon. So let's open up. What does Dick send us? He says, in good faith, like an honest American, he's just spreading the news. CNBC debate poll, Ron Paul leading with 76% at 6 p.m. Central, so that would be 7 p.m. Eastern. Vote now and click here, and there's the link. So I said, okay, well, heck, Walter had already told me it was taken down. Why don't I vote or try to vote here? So we click, and what do we get here? Oh, what does this say? Page not found. Took the poll down because they never mentioned it on TV. CNBC was interviewing all the candidates, at least many of them, including Ron Paul, Fred Thompson. And what did they do? Instead of telling people, hey, Ron Paul is getting 75% of the vote, they never mentioned it on TV, and they took the poll down so you couldn't vote. Now, we know that Fox News and that liar, Sean Hannity, did the same thing with the poll right before the Iowa straw poll. Ron Paul got 33% of the Fox debate to 18% for the next closest was I think Huckabee, and Giuliani had 15%. They buried that poll later that night, so I could not find it on the web page looking for the MSNBC web page for looking for 20 minutes. But what I could find on the front of their web page was Romney pulls ahead in Iowa based on their lying polls where they do them in secret, claim they call 800 people. I'm sure they dial 800 numbers, and then they just make up whatever results they want. Don't accept these polls. Email into those liars, those neocon liars, and we'll have another we'll have another thing on Jim Condit Jr. TV explaining who are the neocons. And I will not mince words like almost everybody else does. I will tell you who are the neocons. They're the same people that were once called the communists back in Russia in 1917. Same force operating behind different masks. But when you hear these neocon polls coming out of ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox, and NBC, whoever, all the 5 TV networks, and AP Wire, email them, call them, scream at them, liars, liars, we don't believe them, you're doing them in secret. When there's a candidate like Buchanan in the 90s or Ron Paul right now that catches fire, these traitors block the real information from the people. Don't cover the Ron Paul, the American candidate, the real American leader. They smear him or down him when they do cover him most of the time. The sheriffs or the military that have the authority walk into these ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and Fox, arrest, handcuff the owners of these stations, perp walk them to the car to be indicted, tried, found guilty, and hung for treason. They are traitors. They are serving the neocon international Rothschild Rockefeller banking establishment, and they are serving the state of Israel ahead of the United States. This is treason. Arrest these traitors. And this thing we just showed you here right now is a perfect example of how they lie and deceive and block the American leaders, and they do it with suppressing the publicity by taking control of our public airwaves by murder and trickery and money tricks over the past 80 years, by phony polls, phony exit polls, and secret computer counts. In 96%, 99% actually, the American vote on election day is secret computer counts for companies protected by these 5 treasonous networks. The 5 big TV networks and those who run them are the greatest enemies that America has ever known. Before this election, before Super Tuesday, arrest the owners of these stations and get Americans running these stations, instead of these traitors that suppress polls like this that tell the true deal of the American people, that if Ron Paul got equal coverage with these other phony neocon, then Ron Paul would be all indications are, in a fair and honest count, he would be the president, not these dreary puppets of the neocons like Hillary and Giuliani. Okay, that's all for now. There'll be another many installments now of Jim Condit Jr. TV. I hope you find this helpful. Thank you.